Okay, we are live. Okay, that's a test. Bougie is not in the same room with me anymore. So, for those of you who found the bird noises obnoxious and distracting, he's not here. We're at our new location. But those of you who enjoy hearing him, if you listen carefully, you might be able to pick up his little chirps way in the background. So hopefully that is the best of both worlds. Oh, let's see who's here. Of course, Melissa's here. Colorado Honey. Oh my gosh. How is everybody enjoying the 3-day weekend? And do you even get a 3-day weekend? Because generally, if reselling is like your number one thing, there's no such thing as 3-day weekends. You can hear him, but he's quiet, right? It's not so bad. I can go close another door if I need to. We will test that. If anybody is disturbed by the bird sounds, just let me know. I will go close another door. He hates it when I close the door, though, so I try not to do that. Hello, Andrea, Laura, Lisa. Welcome in, everyone. I first also want to give just a big thank you to all of those who have served and made it possible for us to have these lives we live and be entrepreneurs and all the things. So I am so very grateful for all who serve and take care of us in this country. Just wanted to get that out there too. You don't have a 3-day weekend here in Canada, right? But you did last week. Yes, I know. I have some Canadian virtual assistants who is like last Monday was their holiday. Hello in Arkansas, Miss Jackie. Hello, Barb in Maryland. I am breathing just an enormous sigh of relief tonight as I'm sitting at a new desk, which is a whole story in and of itself. And it's a standing desk. I've never had a standing desk before, so I can raise it up and stand and work, or I can just lower it and sit. I am sitting as much as I possibly can now after this last week that I've had. Yeah, is he really that loud? Is it coming through that bad? Is it okay? I don't know if I can say your name right. Is it Cherie or is it Sari? Or am I saying it completely wrong? I know you can hear him, but compared to what he was when he was right next to me, is it bad? Or does it just sound like a little chirpy bird in the background? Let me know, because we want to fix that. I love my bougie bird, so he doesn't bother me. Hi, Lisa in Tampa, Florida. Yes, thank you to the Gold Star families whose loved ones gave their life in service of our country. Yes, absolutely. It's much better. Yay, he's fine. Okay, it's good. Okay, and he may just settle down and stop his shenanigans here soon. He is a rock star. We had a big scare, a really big scare, and I am so grateful that Rachel is so good with the birds, because he took a pistachio and he grabbed it completely out of my hand, so he had the whole pistachio. Now, normally not a problem. He will bite off, pieces, but he got a big enough piece that he was, I don't know how to explain, not like choking like you and I would choke, but they have what's called a crop where their food goes, and it got plugged. And so he was doing all this and he couldn't talk. That's what really scared me, is he'd go to say his normal sentences and it would stop. He couldn't get it out. So Rachel, bless her heart, she doesn't even hesitate. She reaches in, she starts massaging his crop, and he's biting the heck out of her. And ultimately she helped him work it out. But I was so scared. And I'm just not, I'm like more squeamish about the bites. I just really am. And it's not really something I can train my brain to back off from. But yeah, he really scared me. So now I'm breaking the pistachios in pieces before I offer them, because we don't want that to happen again. This is a great time, better than midnight. I know. This is kind of my normal go live time. When I go live, this is my normal go live time. Okay. Before I forget, my coloring is for, yes, I did not get a chance to bring my studio light in here, but that's okay, because I'm not showing anything. We're just chatting tonight. Yeah, it'll be brighter next time. I promise. Like we literally just finished setting this all up 30 minutes before I hit the go live button. So bless Noah's heart. Whew. I don't know what I'd do without him. So yesterday, no, not yesterday. Dave, was it yet? No, it was Saturday. Gosh, I'm losing track of what day is what. Saturday was final last hoorah moving day. And one sec. Okay. And it's really hard to explain. I had two houses. One I lived in, one I worked out of. I still have the one that I worked out of. It's my inventory storage, and now it's no longer like my work out of, because we moved my computer, the shipping, everything that I bought over the last month has come here, not there, that kind of a thing. So I decided to get my desk, my computer, all of that stuff while I had the movers doing one last little load out of the old house. Remind me to tell you about the whole auction thing. It's a story. It's a lesson. So I had anybody who ever went to my thrift store at the Good Stuff will remember the big white cash register counter setup we had. Well, it was the big white counter is what I used for my desk at my studio. And it worked really good because I could put a bunch of stuff over there when I was doing my live sales. You know, it wasn't meant to be a desk, but it worked as a desk for me. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to have them move that. I'm going to have them move the shipping doohickey. Well, they put the big desk thing in the U-Haul truck in the middle with nothing around it. You can kind of guess what happened. It fell over and it broke. So I wasn't really upset. I mean, stuff happens. I could have said something. So I'm not mad at them for that. But what it did for me was something really awesome. It was like, you know what? You were already wondering if that was going to take up too much room, if it was too big, if you really needed that much of a desk, blah, 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 blah. All these questions were in my mind. It solved the problem for me. It just answered the question and made it so, boom, let's get rid of it. Okay, so now I went on Amazon, and I need a desk, and I need it overnight because I need to do a live stream. So here we are. It arrived at about 5 a.m. this morning, and Noah got it put together, and I'm happy with it. And and like I said, it's a standing desk, so I can raise and lower it and do what I got to do. I don't quite know how I'm going to work my live sales yet. I may have to move it over this way and put a little something over here. I don't know. That's another problem for another day. But it was God answering your question. Yeah, I think pretty much. So I let the boys completely destroy and tear it apart into crumbly little pieces, and we said goodbye to it. And so there's that. Yeah. Melissa, hold off on links because I'm going to talk about everything and we want to make it like make sense as I'm talking about stuff. So I did pin a comment up above for List Perfectly because we are going to talk about reselling and where I'm at with reselling. And because we're not quite mid-year, but we are close to mid-year. And we are at that point where we're already looking at the big part of the reselling. But things have changed in the reselling world. I want to talk about it. I want to encourage those who are discouraged with reselling. And we're going to get to all of that. I'm going to answer your questions. So anyway, long story short, I know it's too late for that. Saturday was the final move out day at the living house. And what happened was I was going to be out of there by the 15th. But the estate sale company that I was originally going to use and do an actual in-person estate sale, there were some issues, which everybody says, Danny, you don't have stalkers. You don't have this. You don't have like, yes, I do. And they interfere with my business relationships a lot. So anyway, we decided I didn't want her to have issues worrying about people. So went to an alternative was to do an estate auction online. So the auction company comes in, they set everything up, they take the pictures, they put it all online, all of that. And then they have one day for preview where everybody is watched closely, you know, versus like estate sales where there's like so many people everywhere and, you know, in every room. So it was much more controlled. And then the auction took place all online. And then last Thursday was pickup day for that, where everybody comes and they picks up their stuff and it's like, so it was a mess. It was really a mess. I don't think I will ever resort to that again. Honestly, in the future, I think I would rather just donate stuff and be done with it. It was not great. It was not a great experience. Just the way things were lotted up. Some things just didn't make sense. Some stuff never got put in the sale. Some stuff that I had reserves on was removed from the sale. So we kind of went round and round that, and they were telling me that my reserves were unreasonable, but I had gone over them with the person who came out and was looking at what was going to be for sale. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So it was like, it was a strange experience. And I'll come back to your question, Margaret. So yeah, and you know, if you're a reseller, it's really hard to watch stuff sell for like pennies on the dollar. And in a perfect world, I would have the time and the help to have listed everything and gotten it sold. But it wasn't to be. So this is my letting go era, so to speak. A lot of that stuff was things out of storage. Because with all of this moving in the same time, the place where I had my storage units, where I had started to do some sales, I had a plan to get that storage emptied. And then they gave notice that we needed to vacate the units so they could replace the fire sprinklers. And for me, it was like, it did not make sense to move stuff twice. So I could have moved it to another unit and then moved it back. And I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. They weren't paying for the move. So what I did is I got a pod and I moved the stuff from storage to the pod and into the garage. And then once I got my stuff out of the house, then that stuff came in. That's what got set up and was most of the estate sale, along with furniture. I had one of my aquariums was in the sale and it sold. But I guess when the person came to pick it up, they're like, oh, that's bigger than I thought it was. And they left it. I ended up having to give that away. I ended up having to give away some bookshelves because I didn't even put them into the sale and it didn't make sense to pay to move them again. And then it was hard to watch for you too. Yeah, knowing what it was worth. All right, I know, knowing what I paid for stuff too. And then I spent Friday packing up all the good resale stuff and moving it over to the workhouse, and it'll be part of the actual in-person estate sale. And I tell you what, at the end of that, somebody's getting a big donation. I'm just saying. I then Saturday I had someone come through and just clean out everything else in the house, and then I had a housekeeper come behind him and clean everything, and so I could leave the house better than I found it, which I believe I did. And then I handed over the keys, and that house is done. And it feels really weird. I thought I was going to be there a much longer time. I put a lot of money into improving that house and doing things, thinking that it was my house for as long as I wanted it to be. And so I've had to go through like some emotional stuff, a little bit of grieving. I mean, one door closes, another opens. I absolutely love the house I'm in. I love that I'm going to be working and living now under the same roof again. I only did that the last few years for safety reasons, which I'm not going to like rehash everything that happened a few years ago, but it was ugly. And it's like, I didn't know who I could trust, and I certainly didn't know who I could trust to be in my home. So I needed a separate place to have employees come to and that sort of thing. And now I have an amazing employee. She's not going anywhere. She can't. I told her that. She can never leave. But I could trust her with my keys, with my life. I feel really good about the whole situation, and that's where we're at. I don't anticipate having to hire anybody in person. I got Rachel doing pictures for me again, which is awesome. And so, yeah, we're good. And that was the thing with like Rachel stopped because it was such a hassle to coordinate our schedules to take her over to the workhouse and then get her, when she was done, she wanted to go back home and that kind of stuff. But now she just can make her own schedule. So it works out really good. All right, let me go back. And please feel free to ask me questions. This is interactive. This isn't just me rambling on. This is me talking to you guys as much as YouTube and Facebook and the such lets us. I did see a question come through that I want to address. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hi, I have a question. Do you think someone has to be a moderate risk taker to get into reselling as a living? That's a great question. Being an entrepreneur can be risky. So I am a risk taker. I'm a go for it kind of girl. I'm a little impulsive sometimes, but I know what I can lose. I know what I can afford to lose. And I don't go beyond that. You can be more conservative in your risk taking in reselling. You can be more careful as you learn. The more you learn, the less risky it is. I'm at a point after 26, somebody do that math for me. 1998 was how many years ago? But I made lots of, poor buying decisions as I was getting going. And of course, back in the beginning of eBay, it was pretty much you could sell anything. It was a wide open market. Everything sold. And then it was about mid 2000s ish, things started to change. More and more people were discovering online selling, mainly eBay. eBay was the only game in town. eBay was it for a very long time. And then, of course, if somebody sees a good thing, they are going to look to build their own thing. And then we've got Etsy and Poshmark and Mercari, and there was Bonanza. Who remembers Bonanza? I guess it's still out there, but it's kind of dead in the water. Facebook Marketplace kind of got in on the whole shipping part of things. And so online selling has like expanded and grown. And I think I said even like, gosh, as early as 3 to 5 years ago, reselling online is still in its infancy. I think we're at toddler stage now, but we are nowhere near fully expanded into what is going to be. This is an ongoing, evolving, growing thing. So back to your question, it can be a little riskier now, but yet not, because the tools for reselling are so much better. The tools for researching your purchases are so much better. So it helps to have some boldness. It helps to kind of sometimes look at the information you're being given and going, is this really accurate? Is this, I don't know. You know, this whole like, there's 10 listed and no recent sales. But if you're only looking on eBay, that's just on eBay. And we all know that eBay has changed. So it really takes then going and looking beyond now with all the different marketplaces. But so I guess the answer to your question is it helps. It helps if you can make some bolder decisions, because there are a lot of resellers out there who won't take the risk. And so being able to take that risk can give you a little edge, but you don't have to take the risk. I hope that made sense. We like to buy things for pennies on the dollar. Yes, and that is why I did the online auction and advertised it, because I wanted, at the very least, I wanted some of my followers to be able to take advantage of those things. And also, speaking of taking advantage, because I'm only telling you guys watching this live stream right now, I am not going to post this. I mean, I might make a post on YouTube, but I'm not going to like go share this everywhere. For the next little over 24 hours in the nicheladyshop.com, 50% off my on sale category, 50% off already marked down things with the code. What did I call it? Uh-oh. Shoot. I forgot. See, I haven't written it down anywhere. Hold on. I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It is Memorial 50. Memorial 50 for 50% off your items that come out of the on sale collection. And I added a bunch more. I added a bunch more stuff in there since the last time I did a sale in there. So I just wanted to let you know before I get too far into this. But see, I didn't want to put it in the very beginning of this live stream either, because for the people who only watch like 10 minutes and then click off, they don't get to know. This is for you guys. This is for you guys who always are here to support me and root for me. Like, I want to do something back. Baby doll 9282. I used to sell at flea market here in Florida, and one Sunday I didn't even make enough to cover my rent at that point. I said, forget it. I just gave it all to Goodwill. That can be discouraging. That can be discouraging when you do all the work at a flea market to set up. And what happens is people go to these places expecting like the really good deals. And I think that's what's happened, especially over like the last year, I've really seen this more and more, is I feel like resellers are outweighing the bottom line consumers that are out there hitting the places that we source, the thrift stores, the flea markets, and all of that. So the expectation of most of the people coming to these places is to find things that they can turn and flip. Oh, you had to stop bidding because the pickup window was too small. I'm sorry, Bree. Also, I should have made it known. You could have hollered at me because I could have held your stuff. Yeah. Again, that things are so hectic. You probably wouldn't want that because it was only until like an hour ago that I found my mouse and my keyboard that I had brought over and put in a very special box of stuff, and somehow it ended up in the shed. So never mind. I probably would have lost it. Hi, Delane. So we have some of our sellers here from the Niche Shopping Network. I just want to give them a plug. NicheShoppingNetwork.com is a marketplace that I run for other sellers to come and list their items and do live sales. And with that, you also have the opportunity to be featured on the Niche Shopping Network YouTube channel. Which is kind of the conversation I'm going to get into about reselling and how reselling has changed and the solution I've come up with to help as many people as I can. So we're going to get into that. But yes, it's good to see you guys over here. I'm just trying to get to any questions. Oh, and Lisa, I don't know if I answered your email or not about the little issue with district, but I did get it. So I see you there. So in case I didn't, oh my gosh, you guys, if you have sent me a message or an email, or even like a customer message through Shopify over the last few days, first, I'm so sorry. I am so behind. The last 3 days have just been a whirlwind. And then today has been just my kind of taking a breath day. I have been really trying to do that, despite the fact that I'm looking around at mountains of boxes and work that needs to be done and listings that need to go up and video that needs to be edited. Just taking the breather. Just take the breather. But I will answer everything very soon. Let's see. I've been tried selling online. I had this one stupid gal ask me if I would just give it to her for free. I took it to the Goodwill. Yeah, I don't. I hear you. Yeah, but honestly, there's that works for them. Let's just say that works for them. Look, we have panhandlers at the side of roads with little signs. Are some legit struggling, needing help? I would say yes, but some of them are also professionals and they make more money doing that than you and I can make doing a 9-to-5 job. So there's that too. Some people just learn to cut the corners that way. 28. I'm even behind in the I don't know what 28 means. Would you ever consider having booths in an antique mall? Again, yeah, absolutely. I really love an in-person brick and mortar space. I love merchandising. I love the visual of moving stuff around. So absolutely I would. I just have to be careful spreading myself too thin. I've had a couple opportunities that I almost said yes to. And then I was just like, Let's back up a minute, Danny. You got a lot going on. So yes, absolutely. When and if the right opportunity comes up again, I would love to have another space, whether that be an antique mall or maybe my own little boutique somewhere or something like that. Yeah, I love brick and mortar. I absolutely love brick and mortar. Lisa Carroll, I do not. Yeah, I bought that. I got $5 at an estate sale. I love him. He's so colorful and beautiful. And I volunteer over at the Gilcrease Bird and Nature Sanctuary. And there is a macaw that don't worry, we're not bringing a macaw into the family if anybody's thinking that. No, but I'm absolutely in love with him. His name is Elvis. And I go and tell him how beautiful and handsome he is every time I'm there. And it has taken months and months, and he is finally responding with little guttural chatters, and he's putting his head down like he wants scratches, and it's taken a long time to get there. But I do absolutely adore macaws. You think bougie's loud? Oh, they are loud, they are destructive, and they are messy. So you really, really, really need to know what you're getting into with a big parrot. But yeah. My problem with eBay is the shipping costs and people devaluate. Oh, let's talk about that. So that is also what has changed reselling over the last several years. Of course, as reselling has grown, so has the opportunity for shipping services to get in on the action. UPS, DHL, FedEx, USPS, everything. Raise prices, raise prices, raise prices. We've all seen it. Now it's at the point, customers really have to look at the total cost of those items that they are making a decision on. And it does make it so that we can't always get the prices we want for items. That's why you will often see me leave like a large bulky item behind if it doesn't have enough value to overcome what the shopper is going to see for that shipping, which could be over 20 bucks. So yeah, it's definitely had an impact on resellers. I can tell you though, Poshmark has, so anything up to 5 pounds on Poshmark, somebody help me with what it costs. It's a very reasonable price for the customer. And then if it's heavier than 5 pounds, you can buy an additional label, which isn't that much. So that might be one of those places you want to like maybe put heavier things. Do you remember when customers would send checks or money orders to pay for items they bought? Yeah, we call that the good old days. And there was there wasn't this intense pressure to get it shipped in 2 days or 1 day or, whatever these unrealistic parameters are sometimes for people. That's Amazon's fault, by the way. Amazon and their 2-day free Prime shipping thing, that whole thing caused this whole push for free shipping and fast shipping, and because eBay was trying to compete with Amazon, even though they will always tell you they were never trying to do that. Come on, who are we kidding? So we went through this phase of this push for free shipping. I do not recommend you do free shipping unless it is on items you absolutely know what it's going to cost you to ship it, and you can build that comfortably into the price without your item looking overpriced. You can't do that on big, heavy things most of the time, because it also cheats the people that are nearby you, because the cost to ship to them is less than what it costs to ship to zone 8. So on anything over like 2 pounds, I would say don't even consider free shipping, but under 2 pounds, you might want to consider free shipping. But yeah, we used to get those checks and money orders in the mail. And you could even it could arrive, but you could even wait a day and tell them the next day that it arrived. You know, that kind of thing. Tell me I'm not the only one who did that. Oh my goodness. There's nothing under the sale tab in your eBay store because I don't have anything on sale in eBay. NicheLadyShop.com, NicheLadyShop.com. Don't ever shop my stuff in the other places. You know why? It's more expensive in the other places. The best price is always going to be in my Shopify shop because I don't pay commission on it. I just pay to host the site and maintain the apps on there. So it's the same price for me to run the Shopify, whether I have one item or 1,000 items on there. So that's why Shopify is always going to be the best price. Do I get sales in all the other places? I absolutely do. In fact, there should be a pinned comment. I've been using List Perfectly for years and years, but I never really like seriously was cross-posting. I was doing a thing here, a thing there, but now all of my listings are created in List Perfectly and then cross-posted out from List Perfectly, even into my Shopify. And then when they sell on most of the sites, they auto delist, like meaning I don't have to worry if it sells on eBay that, oh, I got to go in there and I've got to take it out of all the other places. It does it automatically so that I can comfortably list in like whatever I'm doing: eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Shopify, and I built a custom marketplace in there for Cherish so that I can manage all my inventory in one spot. And I have had over $3,000 in extra sales just because of using List Perfectly. Those are sales I would not have had if I wasn't cross-posting. So that's how I manage mine. But Shopify is always going to be the best place to buy stuff from me. Asked and answered. As a senior, retired from doing shows of 25 years due to my real job closing. So I had to do something to support my habit. I found the right monthly and local shows that came up to sell. Heart meaning? I'm not sure what you meant by the little last part there, but yeah, you know, which is something I want to talk about. I have been teaching people to resell since 15 years ago, 16 years ago, a long time. Is my mom's here somewhere. Mom, when did I teach you to resell? That's when it all began, me teaching other people. Because it was like, I taught my mom via Skype. So I taught her video teaching, not in person. And my mom was able to build her business and quit her job 6 months in. And that was the light bulb moment for me that I could help people build this thing up and be able to get rid of, like, my mom, that job was killing her. And I'm like, oh, if I can teach my mom, I can teach anybody. And that's how it all began. But also it's very interesting, the dynamic of teaching others. I have people who absolutely hate me because they were not successful at reselling, because they were not willing to do some of the things that needed to be done to be a successful reseller. I'm going to throw that on them because honestly, anybody can do this, but it's not easy. And it's not the same level of easy for everyone. We all have our challenges. We all have our areas that we're good at. We all have our areas that we're bad at. And you have to learn to work with and overcome the things that are challenges for you. I still struggle with time management. I still struggle with technology. but you can see I've figured out how to make it work. And when I did my More Fun, Bigger Profits event, gosh, what has it been? 10 years ago? Has it been 10 years? Man, time just poof. I had the CEO of Aristocrat Technologies as one of my guest speakers. And in interviewing him, I asked the whole cliche question, what is the secret to your success? And his answer has stuck with me for all of these years. And he says, you just need to remember these words. I'm in trouble. I need help. Meaning, sometimes you don't have the answer yourself. You have to be willing to say, I don't know how to do this. Help me. We have to be willing to ask others to help us. I have found people to help me and teach me along the way. And so that's what I try to give back to, is helping and teaching. But the person who needs the help and teaching has to be open to it, has to be willing to do the thing they're being advised to do for the help that they need. And things change. Things change constantly. Okay, who can relate? Every single time there is like a update to a software or something, it kind of hurts my brain. I struggle. Shopify just did some major changes in the way, you filter your orders, and anybody whose order was behind, it is because I completely missed a whole day of orders because they changed how I found the unfulfilled orders. So, yes. Now, Miss Jackie, the code is Memorial50. Memorial50 is the code for 50% off the on sale collection. They call them collections, not categories. Collection. Amazon changed everything, shipping expectations. Yep. How does Cherish calculate? Let me put that one up there. How does Cherish calculate shipping, and how do they handle large items? Cherish is one of the best sites for large items. I have sold furniture on Cherish. It is where I will list large art pieces, because the way Cherish does it is you put in, first of all, you put in the weight and dimensions, the shipping weight and dimensions, and then you say it will fit in the box or it won't fit in a box. If it fits in a box, you then have the option to have Cherish arrange the shipping, which I highly recommend, and that's how I do it. So they will calculate the shipping, charge the customer, all of that. And then you also have the option, you can take the item and go drop it off at a UPS store to package it up. Now, you do have to pay for that, but it's a hugely discounted rate from like walking into the UPS store and having them package something up. So it can be really worth it if you have like a $300, $400, $500 item and you want to be sure that if something happens, the insurance covers it. Have UPS package it up, because then they can't dispute it. If they packaged it and you shipped it through them and you bought the insurance, bam, you're pretty solid on getting reimbursed. Heaven forbid something happens. We always hope nothing happens, but furniture, large items that don't fit in a box, they are partnered up with uship.com. So who remembers Shipping Wars? It was a TV show, and it was based on uship. It was real life. These people are just independent contractors with trucks and trailers and SUVs sometimes, whatever they have to get, they pick the item up from you and they take it where it's got to go. They drive it where it's got to go. So Cherish is amazing for that. Cherish does take 30%, or 30%, unless you pay for one of their subscriptions, and then you can lower it, I think, to 20%. But the subscriptions are pretty expensive. Oh, my mom answered 2012. So yeah, like 14 years ago. Okay, I was right. I knew it was more than 10. 14 years. 14 years. Hello, sweet Susan. I hope you're doing well. Susan and I were lamenting together because, oh yeah, did I mention I've done this whole moving thing for the last 2 weeks with a broken toe? That's been really fun. But Noah's been so amazing. Mom, let me get that for you. Mom, let me do that. Mom, let me carry that for you. It's better. It still hurts, but it's much better. Let's see. Let me get caught up. Oh, my mom's saying, I visited Danny in Vegas in late 2011, where she started showing me how she operated her business before I left for home. She had helped me set up. No, Mom, no. We did it via Skype first before you ever got to Vegas. It was all online. It was way before you came to Vegas. You were still down in Arizona. I'd already moved away. Yes, absolutely. 1000%. I miss Florida. I love Florida. Traveling is on my list of things I want to do again. It's just so far been a very expensive year, and there has not been a lot of traveling money, but that's all going to change. That is all going to change, and no longer paying 2 rents, 2 utilities, all the stuff that goes with that. I'm condensed down into one. I'm so happy. Definitely coming back to Florida. Let's see. You guys are having your own chats in there, so I'm kind of like reading through those. Yeah, okay, Susan, I wasn't going to say anything. Yeah, Susan fell, and Susan, are you healing? She was so black and blue. I felt so bad. Yes, Simply Old Stuff is one of the sellers on Niche Shopping Network. Carrie, Colorado is one of the, we have, I think, 25. Do we have 25 sellers now on Niche Shopping Network? And I don't list my items in the marketplace there, except, I know, I'll get called out on this. There is right now a category for a consignment that I did for a thrift store for jewelry. But that, here's the thing. This is why I haven't gone live again on District. Despite the fact all the moving and stuff, I really need to find my iPad so I can multicast. I want to multicast, but with District, you can only multicast with an Apple product, either an iPhone or an iPad. So that is what I'm working on so that I can be both on District, nicheshoppingnetwork.com, and on the YouTube channel so that we can pull some new people over into nicheshoppingnetwork.com. So, but yeah, we're gonna be ramping that all up here very, very soon. I'm also so one of the things I offer is I have a community on Skool, SKOOL, called the Reseller Revolution Network. And with the Reseller Revolution Network, that's where I teach reselling. I don't, I do my thrifting videos and such because 80% of my viewers are not resellers. So I don't do a lot of teaching content on the YouTube channel, although, I teach as I go and I talk about things, but the meat and potatoes teaching happens over in my Skool community, where that is where like we dig into specifically. Sometimes sometimes only one person comes to the Zoom and then you get one-on-one coaching, or we have a half a dozen people there and you still pretty much get one-on-one coaching in real time. But we meet every week live via Zoom and we go over whatever questions come up. We research items. We talk about things that are happening, all of that. But what I am putting over there also, I already have a shipping course over there because that's one of the hardest things about learning to be a reseller is the shipping part. But I'm now making a live selling course because that is where we're at. That is the best way if you need cash flow. Now, that being said, live selling does not usually result in the best price you're going to get for something. Live selling is a way to sell things quickly. It is a way to not have something sitting in your inventory room for a year. That's what live selling is really, really good for, which means then you have to buy it right. You have to buy it at a price that you can sell it still at a discount and still make yourself some good money. And that is very, very doable. But live selling is now a big thing. You've got Whatnot. You've got the marketplaces on District. You have eBay getting into the live selling format, Poshmark live sales. Like all of these venues are figuring out that people love the social interaction. I think TikTok, there's people doing it on TikTok. I don't know. I'm liking TikTok less and less. I liked it when I could see like real people's stories, perspectives, their pets and their animal stuff. And now it just seems like it's advertisement, 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 advertisement. And it makes me a little loony. Who are we looking for? I have not. So I'm not going to stop doing Whatnot. Whatnot is obviously a great place to clearance stuff. So I will use it for that. I don't want Niche Shopping Network to become a clearance venue because that's just going to hurt my sellers. I want it to be a place where we draw in quality customers who want things at great prices. And so I'm kind of going to strategically use the different formats for different things. Whatnot also connects with List Perfectly now. So I can just, if something's been in my shop. In fact, at some point, okay, let me tell you what's going to happen with all the stuff at the workhouse. Let me back up a couple steps to make it make sense. So obviously I have a whole house filled with inventory. I will be moving a lot of my inventory over, but not stuff over 6 months old that is not worth at least $50. So anything under $50 and over 6 months old will be part of an in-person estate sale, which I have hired a new company to come in and do that. And they've got their work cut out for them because there's a lot of stuff over there. So that's what's going to happen. And I'm going to get all of my current inventory that I want to bring here, and that I will keep storing and then sell everything else. Like once I do that, nothing else is coming home. My white cubbies are all coming home because that's what I'm storing my inventory in. I'm going to have a date system with my cubbies. So instead of organizing my stuff by type, which is what I've always done, it's going to be organized by when it was listed. And that way, when it comes time for me to do some clearance, I can go to, January 2025 shelves, and whatever's left on those shelves, I can send that to clearance. And that's going to kind of be so I never get overwhelmed with my inventory again. And I will be documenting and videoing and showing, the whole process, because I think this will help others too, that may have a system that, it might have worked in the beginning and it's not working so great now. Because I ended up getting very, very, very overwhelmed with stuff, especially when I closed the store. And I felt this need to like, oh, but this is good resellable stuff. I can list all this, I can sell it. And then it never happened. And then I look back and I was like, I paid storage for 2 years on stuff now that I'm just letting go. So I don't ever want to get in that position again. this is like a whole new era of my life, because not only for the first time in 9 years, am I free of storage, but I don't really even have the ability to accumulate stuff the way I used to. I have no garage anymore because this is a converted garage room. So, yeah, I'm got to do things a different way, and I'm hoping that for me, it's God has led me down this path so that I can help somebody else with my transition and what I'm going through. And because here's the thing, guys, I'm not special. I'm just a me. I am just a human being trying to find their way in this world and find the best way to do things and to help others and to be a positive force and all of that. But at the end of the day, do I make mistakes and I get overwhelmed and I get sad and sometimes I even break down and cry a little bit. Although this move hasn't been as bad as the last one. We'll see how we are in 30 days from now if I can get this all done. But I think some of you have been watching me long enough too. You probably see a difference this move than the last one too. Where are you putting your mollies? Oh, this is so funny. Well, it's not funny. It's a little painful, but it's funny. So someone offered me a free shed. Do you know how much a free shed costs? Yeah, because that shed had to be taken apart, moved, put back together, insulated. My free shed, I'm about $1,000 into my free shed. But anyway, so the shed was built for the Molly tank, which is also my new quarantine tank, and what they call an RODI system, because saltwater tanks need a special kind of water. And because I have such a huge aquarium now, that we have to generate some of the water here because he can't bring enough water to do the whole water change. So we needed a shed that we could keep temperature controlled in it. But man, whew. Is the sale jewelry? No, I'll do jewelry on a separate sale. I got to keep the two separate. That'll be there. There's currently a 25% off jewelry sale. Just FYI, that is all jewelry. Yeah, my mom's watched me let go so much stuff, so much. I mean, we really like the kitchen. Noah and I went through the kitchen and we left anything we hadn't used, it got left. We switched out to using Fiesta plates. Yeah, I have a whole lot of cupboard space and drawer space in this new kitchen because we didn't bring hardly anything from the kitchen. It's amazing how much stuff you get that you just never use. Yeah, I let my dressers go, even my antique one. I have regrets. I have regrets on that one, big time. But I did. I just let stuff go. Just let stuff go. And as you saw, I got the new bed frame, and the nightstands, and I'm super happy. I ended up with a white duvet cover. Okay, this may sound really stupid, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I've never had a duvet cover. I see it's got little buttons, and it's fairly thin. Is that meant to put a comforter inside of it so that then you can just wash it when it's not being, you know what I mean? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Yes. Okay. Good. But I got a white one because I thought, oh, white will make it look so open and airy and clean in here. And then I'm like, dogs. the dogs like to lay on my bed. I'm like, oh, this is not going to stay white for very long. But I'm like, oh, but I can throw it in the washing machine. So, okay. I mean, it's summertime temperatures here. So I haven't, put it on anything. It's fine all on its own. But yeah, I had a feeling that's what I was supposed to do. I bought it at Home Goods, and I was really looking for a bedspread, and I saw this and I liked the pattern and everything. I was really disappointed in the selection of everything is so the same. There's so much sameness out there. It's like different but the same. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Viv. I hope you're having a good time on your trip. Hello, Deborah. Well, that was my thinking too, is that you can bleach white. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, especially with Ozzy. Yeah, my little black Ozzy. He's my couch buddy. He knows the word couch now. When I go hit the couch at night, I just holler to Noah, couch. He opens the door and Ozzy comes running, and we just snuggle and watch TV. I can't believe he's 7 now. Little Ozzy, he's middle-aged. He looks a lot older than he is. But yeah, somebody was asking me if I still had all my tortoises. I absolutely still have all my tortoises. Now, if you've been watching me, that we did get a tortoise named Jack toward the end of fall last year, who I got called by a dog rescue that I work with, and they said, hey, somebody just called us, they got a tortoise. And I'm asking the questions. Okay, make sure it's not a wild one, because you never want to take a wild one out of the wild. They're like, no, it's painted. I'm like, okay, it's not wild. So they brought it to me, and because we were so close to brumation time, I went ahead and kept him. And then when he woke up, I found Jack a new home. Found him an amazing home. He is being loved and cared for. He lives with some bearded dragons in harmony. Jack's got a really good home. So I just have my OGs, my originals that I've had since the beginning. And of course, Eileen. I'm a little we're keeping an eye on Eileen. Eileen has not come out of her burrow now for a couple days, and I think she's super stressed out. Moving is very, very hard for tortoises. They don't adapt well to change. And we just built her new summer home out of straw, everything, put her in it, and she hasn't come out. So if she's not out by tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to go in there and pull her out and make sure she gets hydrated and all of that, which I'm really just hoping she comes out on her own. She's a big girl, but I am a little worried about her. A little worried about her. Oh, wait, do I have a cough button? I do. Hey, look how that works. All right, sorry. Oh, by the way, this is our new obsession around here. 7-Up Mandarin Orange. Oh, it's so good. Anybody tried that? It's yummy. You have a cream-colored comforter and an English shepherd who thinks my bed is his. I mean, I love having the dog on the bed. I don't know. Color me weird. I love that they're so comfortable. Why not? Why not? Cora is Rachel's dog, and Ozzy is Noah's dog. So I don't have a dog to sleep with me at night. I'm not getting another one either. I really want to travel more. Oh, sassafras, it's YouTube. I mean, it's YouTube. Oh, Mom, yeah, you should get some. It is yummy. It's been weird, like the things that you change when you move. Like now we've gone to a completely different grocery store than we normally go to, and and they had all of their Pepsi products for buy 3, get 3 free, which it does end up being a really good price. So we didn't want to get all the same thing. So, we got this Friday, like, yeah, let's try this. Now we're hooked. We are hooked. Yeah, well, YouTube's always about making money for YouTube because, YouTube gets paid for those ads. Yes, creators also get paid a little percentage, but they get paid too. So they're always doing what they can do to make the moolah. All right, throw me some questions, guys. Throw me some questions. I like answering your questions, not just like rambling about my stuff. I did get to see Jordan and the baby last week. Was that last week? There was a conference in town. Yeah, she was here for like 5 days. And so I picked him up from the airport and spent time at the hotel. We went to the aquarium at Mandalay Bay. Got to do some really great baby time. And now I'm planning my next visit back out to San Diego. He's so growing so fast. I'm like, okay, I don't want too many weeks to go by before I get out there and get to spend time with him. He's gonna be in kindergarten before we know it. That's a great question. That is a great question. For a beginner seller, which would you sell on? So my answer always used to be eBay. That, I would have never thought in a million years I would be telling people that is not your first choice of where to start selling. So a lot of it depends on what do you want to sell? Because that is the thing with these marketplaces now. There are specialties. So I find, now I do sell a lot of hard goods on Poshmark, believe it or not. It's one of my better cross-posting sites, better than eBay. Everything is better than eBay when I cross-post. I do get some eBay sales, but man, Poshmark and Etsy are my two that I consistently get sales from. So clothing, shoes, go with one of the sites that's their specialty. That is the customer they are attracting for you. If you do handmade items, handcrafted items, or supplies, or vintage items over 20 years old is their definition, Etsy. Etsy's doing really well with those items because they are working to curate that customer for you. eBay, I don't know what eBay's curating these days. Honestly, I am a stockholder of eBay, so I watch a little behind the scenes with their stockholder reports and all of that. And it's really sad that, to me, my opinion is that eBay is now putting profits over people, that they are more worried about showing that period over period increase in revenue, which means raising fees, which means getting more people to use promoted listings, which means doing things that increase their money that don't necessarily help the sellers that are their customers. That is what I'm seeing with eBay. eBay search is not the greatest anymore. So for that reason, I don't recommend eBay as like one of the first places you go. When you get to cross-posting, yes, cross-post to eBay by all means. Poshmark takes a bigger fee than the other. Honestly, I think they all work out to about the same when you plus and minus all the things that go into it. eBay takes the most now. eBay, like, what are they up to? Like, it's like 13%, I believe, is like the base. Then you have your 2.9% transaction fee. So now you're up to almost 16, but most people need to do promoted listings, which now is going to add another 2 to 10% on top of that. So eBay is just, yeah. What is Poshmark percentage now? I don't recall what Poshmark is right off the bat. I'd have to look it up. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can totally sell car parts on eBay. And I would recommend too, like eBay is the place. That's where I became the niche lady, is really honing in a store that curates, like once you get a customer into your item and they look at everything else you have for sale, that they want to buy everything, kind of a thing. That's the basis behind niche. Is it's not about saying, okay, car parts or baked goods, or not that kind of niche. It is about who is the customer you want to attract. How do you curate your reselling business to create that community of customers that loves the things that you sell? That's the niche that I teach. Bottom line is eBay just wanted to be Amazon. Etsy takes one of the lowest percentages, but again, they do try to get you to pay what they call ad fees. So it still balances out to about the same as any other site, honestly. Posh wants to offer about 25% of the price. Posh buyers want to offer about 25%. Yeah, they do. Don't accept it. Yeah, so if you sell on my marketplace, it's 10%. It's 10%. What does Noah think? Uncle Noah! I don't think he knows what to do with them. Yeah, the baby loves Noah and Rachel. And they're not, I mean, they're basically still teenagers. Like, okay, it's a baby. It's cute. Okay. eBay does 13.6, Etsy 6.5, and Posh 20%. See, I price at like just knowing 20%. 20%. Just price your stuff knowing you're going to pay 20%. I am not a big fan of Mercari. All sites have scammers. All of the reselling sites have unscrupulous sellers and unscrupulous buyers. That is just the internet in general. So you just have to be careful. Use a payment method that you can get your money back if something happens. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. Check ratings. I don't know why I have a frog in my throat all of a sudden. Oh, because I took a drink. Check ratings for if you're going to make a purchase from someone. Check their feedback. Check their ratings. See what people are saying. Yeah, Belinda. Yes, eBay will. They'll what we call shadow ban you. Like Etsy does it too. I know for a fact Etsy does it because they did it to me. Because I wasn't responding quick enough through this move to customer messages, and I got below this certain percentage of answer within 24 hours that they wanted, and my sales stopped on Etsy. And then all of a sudden, I rose back above that percentage, and I had like 3 sales. Like, oh, yeah, that all these marketplaces play that game because it's all being controlled by AI now. It's not a person flipping a switch or anything. It is AI. It is AI. Yes. Miss Pamela, how are you, my friend? You can just go to nicheshoppingnetwork.com, and down at the bottom of the page, there is a apply to be a seller. Super easy, easy peasy. Etsy has a clientele that pays more for items. That is true. That is true. And then the beautiful people like Pamela Blanchard still do live sales on their channels, which is awesome. There's all different ways to do reselling. There is no one size fits all. And that's a lot of, I'm on YouTube a lot. I do a lot of research not research like, how do I do something? I research other channels, successful channels that are trending for certain topics. And I'm kind of looking at what's out there. And number one, there's a lot of questionable information out there. And one of the things is there is no one size fits all. If we all could do the same thing and have the same result, then I just don't even think that's possible. No. We'd all be driving the same car. We would all be living in the same type house. We'd all have the same furniture, So that is the beauty of this business, is that we are all different. We all have different life experience that makes us know the value of different things. We have different interests, which has us researching and learning about different things. It just leaves the field wide open for still building an incredible reselling business. Now, is it harder than it used to be? Absolutely. It is not as easy as it used to be, but it is still an incredible way to make a living if you love doing this kind of thing. There is a conference coming to town. What does he call it now? It's Jim Cochran's conference. Why am I just drawing a blank? The Proven Conference, I think he calls it. Amazon. He is a big Amazon seller, teacher, and he has a conference every year. I had bought a ticket to go last year and didn't get to go. He's coming to Vegas this year, and I get to use my ticket from last year for this year. And am I selling on Amazon? I am not selling on Amazon, but I want to be in a room full of entrepreneurs who love reselling, who love sharing ideas, all of that. So I'm going to go to this conference, but also just learning the different ways there are to make a living selling online. It isn't just selling used goods. You can do wholesale. You can do handcrafted items. You can, the sky's the limit still. It's truly the sky. This is the crazy thing about where we are with the internet and everything today. It's no longer you have to save up all this money to start a business and do it. No, you literally can start a business on a shoestring and build it to some big, billion-dollar industry if you want to. I don't want to do that. I just want to be comfortable. But it's truly the sky's the limit. And you can't look at what someone else has done because you're not in their brain. You're not in their circumstances. Sometimes you're just not even in the same place they are that find the same things. But you can look at strategy and how you can apply that to your own situation and take what makes sense, fine tune it, build your own little thing, and then thank you, whoever just bought something, and then grow it as big as you want to, or keep it as little as you want to. That is truly the beauty of reselling, and I still think it is a completely viable way to make a living. Not as easy as it used to be. I'm just going to keep saying that because I'm not out here telling you, just start listing things and they'll sell. And no, there's some work to be done, and some social media to be done, and some kind of getting your brand fine-tuned and what sells and what doesn't for your customers. But it's totally doable. What are we talking about here? You had a customer want a refund on something she bought local from me, and all my ads say no refunds, but she told me it didn't say no returns, and I found it right on my ad. She was going to give me a bad review, and I told her that it says right on my ad no returns. They absolutely changed. She sent me my ad, and she purposely cut off the part. Here's the thing though, what I will tell you about that. Even if we say no returns, no refunds, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. If you sold it locally though, and somebody did they pick it up from you or did you ship it? See, that's when, like, if you come and look at it in person and you buy it and you pay for it, like, that should be done. But if it's something you shipped, we make mistakes as resellers. If something wasn't quite as advertised, or, make it right. It's good for your reputation to make it right. That being said, unless it's a customer that you know very well, you get the item back. Yeah, get the item back. Don't just give a refund without getting the item back. Even if they say it's broken, I used to say keep it, but with AI, people are now faking pictures of a broken item in order to get a refund. I feel like you need a following to be really successful anymore. Build your following. Build the following. That's just it. Like, you can build the following. That is the absolute core of what I teach for niche. And I can teach you how to do that. And you don't have to have a YouTube channel. You don't have to go out there and speak to people, but you can grow that following through just information posts. Yeah, there's always going to be people. There's always going to be unhappy people. This is something in reselling, and it's more now than it ever used to be. You're going to get people who are going to tell you, it's got a pimple on it. I want a discount now. Don't give them a discount. Just get the item back. I know sometimes it's painful to get the item back. I get it. I know. I had to refund. Oh, this was the worst. I had to refund a $750 bracelet because I sold it twice. Not the customer's fault. It was on me. But sometimes we just have to just step out of the emotional part of they're saying I did something wrong. Because that's how we feel sometimes, is when they don't like the item or they say there's something wrong with it. They're saying that we did something wrong, that we lied to them, or like, and then we feel that little inner gut thing come up, and it, like, set yourself outside of that. You are a CEO. Look at it from the outside perspective and go, you know what? There might have been a mistake. Let's just take it back, make it right. Boom. You can do it. Take the emotion out of it. I feel like I'm pretty successful selling part-time and I don't have a following. There you go. There you go. But you probably do have a following. A following isn't necessarily like, you guys are my following here for my YouTube channel. You aren't all my customers. Some of you are my customers. But the following is the people who go to whatever selling venue you have, and they like what they see enough to say, I'm going to follow this seller. Before, like, all the YouTube reseller channels came about, that's what people were doing, and they still do. They will still go and follow a seller that they like to see what they are selling. So you absolutely can. It's business, not personal. It's a hard lesson. I get it. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. I sometimes have that, like, feeling first, But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, like, is it worth giving it that energy? Is it just better to just release, go, boom, move on? It'll come back to you. It'll come back to you. Yes. A following is when a buyer that comes back again and again, like a repeat buyer. Yeah. And you will get those. I'm a repeat buyer for a lot of followers. I mean, for a lot of sellers. I am. I have a big long list, like on Whatnot and on eBay. Not as much on eBay. I used to browse eBay a lot more. And I don't as much as I used to. but when I do, I got my little list to go because I got something really good from them once upon a time at a good price. I have a few customers that will come to me before looking elsewhere. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then learning the things that they're looking for. So you put more of those things in your shop and so on and so on and so on. What commercial was that? What commercial was the and so on and so on? Was it shampoo? Was it a shampoo commercial? Oh gosh, somebody help me now. Now I'm going to be like, what was that? What was that? I don't even watch commercials anymore. Like on TV, I have on Hulu, I have like the no ads. Netflix doesn't have ads. I have premium YouTube, no ads. You can't skip ads on TikTok though. Still ads on TikTok, but you can scroll by them. So even Facebook is full of the ads now. All right. Throw me some more questions. I don't think anybody likes commercials. We know they're kind of like a necessary evil, though. It is what makes all of this possible for free. Back when I was a teenager and worked at JCPenney, we were trained that the customer is always right. I had a lady return a 20-year-old bath rug with receipt, and my manager took the return. Yeah. So, and it's interesting that the customer is always right doesn't mean the customer is in fact always right. It's the philosophy. You treat it as if the customer is always right to keep the customer service at that level. Yeah, come on over to the Reseller Revolution Network. I think Melissa has posted the link there a couple times. There's a 7-day free trial. Come check it out. We're going to do a Zoom call tomorrow, in fact. So if you come join us, then you can be part of that and see what we do and see if it's something that you'd like to be part of. Fabergé organic shampoo in the 70s, 80s, and so on. And so on, and so on. There's the link. There's a link. Reseller Revolution Network. Why is it called Reseller Revolution Network? Because it might be the name of the book that I'm coming out with. You know, writing in my free time. I had a customer on eBay make an offer and said if I didn't take the offer, they would never buy from me again. I say, bye-bye. You don't need a customer like that. You do not need a customer like that. Yes, the code is Memorial50 for 50% off my already marked down things. It's my last clearance before I move. And if you are local in Las Vegas, be watching for the announcement of an actual in-person estate sale that will be happening. The book is almost done. Almost done. I have been working on it for a long time. I'm glad it's not done yet because there's some very interesting things happening in the reseller world that are going to be good to include in the book. I tried to take something back to Target with a receipt, but it was bought through DoorDash, and they told me that I had to do something with DoorDash, and I thought that I was, hey, let me just give my little PSA about DoorDash. Do I have free time? Not really. That's why I laugh. And when I say free time, DoorDash. So with the move, we've been doing a lot of just having food delivered and that kind of thing in the rush of things. I have learned some very interesting things about DoorDash. Apparently, there's a lot of people who don't tip DoorDash drivers. And because of this, now keep in mind, that's how the DoorDash drivers make their money. They get a very, very tiny amount, like a base fee, like $2.50 from DoorDash. And most of what they make comes from the tips. So I guess the new thing in DoorDash's infinite wisdom is if somebody doesn't leave a tip, they stack that order with somebody who leaves a good tip. Okay? That way it balances out for the Dasher to make some money. Well, if you're a good tipper, a lot of times you're not getting your food for, way over when they say you're going to get your food because they're busy stacking them on all these other no tip orders. So unfortunately, we found that out the hard way. We ordered Chinese food for Noah's birthday. Noah turned 21. Can you believe that? He wanted Chinese food for his birthday. That is true. You DoorDash part-time. Yep. So we got this big Chinese food order and we waited. And finally this desk is a little more unstable than the last. So I called the restaurant because the Dasher was still like on the map, looked like they were way far away from the restaurant. I called the restaurant. I said, hi, I'm just checking to see we placed a DoorDash order. I wanted to see if that food was waiting. And they go, oh yeah, it's been done. So our food was sitting there waiting. DoorDasher is still on the strip. Okay, it's Las Vegas. Anytime you are on the strip of Las Vegas, getting anywhere else is a good 20 minutes. So I ended up contacting DoorDash. I said, I don't want this food now. Are you going to guarantee I don't get food poisoning after I get food that's been sitting for an hour? Because the restaurant already told me it was done. And so we ended up canceling that order and then reordering. But when we reordered, we couldn't choose the priority. So it was this whole fiasco, honestly. It's really unfair to, number one, good customers. I've always tipped generously. I never understood why it always seemed like to take forever to get my orders. It's because I tip good. So you're teaching people, number one, not to tip good, and you're hurting the Dashers. So I don't know. I would like to see it that DoorDash would just pay a living wage to their drivers, and that tips become actually what they're supposed to be, is a tip for good service. You get your tip after you do the service, like after you get my order to me in the time frame. And I don't know, am I old school in that I feel like a tip is an earned thing based on the service, not just a expectation you pay this because the company doesn't want to pay their people. That's my feeling on it. And it's not just DoorDash, it's Uber Eats, it's all of them. You get your orders really quickly. Being in Vegas might have something to do with it. It's like there's probably a lot of food ordering in Vegas and probably a lot of low tippers in Vegas. Yeah, a base tip, yes, with option to tip more. See, I like that. I'm okay with that. I never had a problem with it until recently. It started to become a problem more recently. Yeah, you live in a small place. Yeah. Crazy times we are living in. I don't know. We can be frustrated and mad and upset, or we can learn to work with all these changes and things. Like, our answer to that is we need to make sure we have things here at home that we can make easily. So we've been getting a lot more sandwich fixings and making sure we have frozen meals, that we can just pop in the microwave when we don't have time to cook. I can't get delivery at all due to the location. When they have locations that can deliver to me, it's a glitch in their system. Oh, that's not okay. But I mean, you kind of know that too based on where you live. It's like, do you want to live in that place that's more remote, not a lot of people around? And that's kind of like the trade-off too. Tips in UK, we always tip the driver with cash so the apps don't take a cut of it. But I know some drivers don't see a tip on the app and get mad about the order. Exactly. So they don't know they're getting a tip. That's the problem. There should be a button you can select that says tip on delivery or something. Did Mr. Noah have his first toast with champagne? He did not. He's really not interested. Oh, yay, Sassafras. Look forward to working on your business with you. Yeah, no, Noah just like the whole drinking thing isn't like it's not a big deal to him. I saw somebody asked me the question if I still talk to the Hales. Yes. What the Hales are still very good friends of mine. We talk YouTube stuff and life stuff because we kind of have some similarities and stuff. He did. I still owe him, like in the crux of all this moving, we didn't really get to go do anything. We just ordered Chinese food. So I still owe him. I owe him a birthday celebration. Your boy just turned 31, moved to Nebraska. Oh, how far away is that from you? I wish I could move back to California and be closer to Jordan and the baby, but California, oof. The cost of living in California. Mm-hmm. And there's a state income tax, so state income tax would give me a hefty little pay cut. Yeah, they're going through some stuff. They are definitely going through some stuff. IKEA. That would be a birthday excursion for him. He loves IKEA. So Pittsburgh to Nebraska, that's not super close. Yeah, it's painful when they move away. Your son just turned 40. Your youngest is 33. IKEA is the best. Your mom hates it. I'm not a big IKEA fan. Like, it's not my thing, but he enjoys it. I like the fake plants. They had a tornado his second day there. Oh my goodness. The best part of going to Las Vegas IKEA. Bree, I know you're a big NASCAR person. Oh my goodness. That driver, you guys do not ignore health problems. Holy smokes. Yeah, the driver who was driving with double pneumonia and ended up passing away from sepsis because he just ignored it. He just, oh, how horrible. He was only, what, 42? What's his first name? Was it Kyle Busch? Yes, he is. He is. He's happy to be at IKEA. You just talk to him oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I hope that there is some investigation and some new rules put in place, perhaps that, I don't know. I don't know how it works with call in the track doctor for a shot to make you pep you up for the, Yeah, there's some got to be some liabilities there with how that was handled. Very upsetting. I don't ever like to see, you know, the pictures of the surviving wife and kids when some, like, just a senseless death like that. Very upsetting. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we've been on here for like an hour and 40 minutes. How time flies. Next time you see me, I got to figure out how I'm decorating. I don't even know. I might even turn the desk. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I honestly, this behind me, I got like this big, like you can't see, there's no shelves. It's just this big open closet. I don't even know what I'm going to put in there. I don't know the opportunities. It was just storing stuff. I don't want to just store stuff. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was double pneumonia. Yeah. I got to figure out what I'm putting in. I have to like, this is a whole new thing for me to figure out how I'm going forward. I want to get back to my live sales. I need to get back to my live sales. This move was probably the most expensive move I've ever done. I don't know why it ended up just being like one thing after another, just was more money. But got it done. And now I need to recover. I need to recover from this move. So there's definitely, that's why I'm running the sale. Again, if you're watching, 50% off in the nichelady.shop.com in the on sale category with Memorial 50. I'm going to make a post on the YouTube channel. That's the only place I'm going to post it in case you forget, because I didn't run a banner or anything here. I will put that, but it's only going to run till tomorrow night because I have to start packing things up. So whatever doesn't sell, then I decide, is it staying for the estate sale or is it coming over here? Yeah, that's true, Annie's Corner. Like when you DoorDash something from Target, you aren't buying it directly from Target. You're buying it from DoorDash, who buys it from Target. That is correct. That is correct, Mundo. All right. Any last reselling questions before we go? Or any questions? You know me. I'll answer just about anything. Oh, I have a favor to ask. Big favor to ask. I am doing another compilation of some of my best thrifting trips put together. And I would super appreciate as many of you as possible, if you watch it and you don't want to watch it all the way through, let it run. You could just let it run all the way through. Go in the other room. Do something else while it's running in the background. I would be forever grateful. I just did not have time to get a video edited for tomorrow. So that's what we have to do. So we keep the YouTube happy and all of that. But it'll also be 3 really good older videos that you may not have seen. So there's that too. Yes, happy Memorial Day, everyone. I hope you had an amazing 3-day weekend and that you have an amazing shortened work week if you still have to go do the whole work thing. And if you're a reseller, I hope that you will feel encouraged that despite what you might hear out there, reselling is still a very viable business. It is an amazing business, but it does have some changes and things happening that you have to stay on top of, and don't follow every trend that's out there. Build your own strategy and your own niche. And with that, go be profitable and make it fun. See you on the next one.